That's enough. Say that. It's enough. You should have. Prophet ﷺ, loving him is loving the ones whom he loves. And seeing so many people, they also kind of lost that connection. They love Prophet ﷺ so much, but they don't love whom he loves. And whom he loves is not just 1400 years ago. What? His mercy and his love just stopped 1400 years? It didn't continue? Of course it did. There are so many others that continued after that. That they love the Prophet and the Prophet loves them. We are finding sheikhs, we are finding the friends of Allah. Find them to love them. Because loving them, it is loving the Prophet ﷺ. Those one who are the real inheritors of the Prophet ﷺ. That is all. Inshallah. Right, you have a question? Yeah, say. How you deal with tyranny? That's good. So you've been listening to the khutbah a little bit, huh? Okay. Don't deal with the external tyranny to say who is being a tyrant to me. The whole world is complaining. Just saying, this is tyrant to me, this one said something to me, this one. Look to your own self in this month of mercy, in this first 10 days of mercy. Tyranny, it is the opposite of mercy. Tyranny is not showing any mercy. And tyranny, as the khutbah is saying, when you are things that Allah has put high, you put low. Things that He puts low, you put high. You are being a tyrant. Now that is very wide. Now you look to yourself. How are you going to deal with the tyranny inside of yourself? First, are you admitting that you are a tyrant? Majority are going to say, what, me tyrant? No, I'm such a nice guy. I'm Sufi, you know. I love everyone. They're not even going to admit that. Then, why Allah is saying, recite this prayer, La ilaha illa anta subhanan kuntu minaz zalimin. If Hazrat Yunus alayhi salam, he's saying that he is a tyrant, then what about us? Why Hazrat Yunus alayhi salam, he's saying that he's a tyrant? What did he do that he's saying that he's a tyrant? He was a prophet. He was a prophet that came and he showed his nation the way. He showed his nation how to face to their Creator, not to be a tyrant to themselves. But did they listen? They didn't listen. Years, decades, hundreds of years maybe, he was saying to them. Not only they didn't listen to him, they started tyrannizing him. You think it is easy? So many of you complain to me, my son doesn't listen to me. My daughter doesn't listen to me. My husband doesn't listen to me. My wives don't listen to me. I'm really fed up. You only have maybe a couple of people around you. These are prophets that they have their whole nations in front of them. Thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people, and not a single one, a man, a woman, or a child, is listening to them. Something that is common sense, something that makes perfect understanding. They're not listening to them. Now, did Yunus alayhi salam, did he curse at his people? Did he ask Allah to send down the azab to his people? No, he didn't. What did he do? That he's calling himself a tyrant. What did he do? He just said, this is too much. Ya Rabbi, I cannot carry this anymore, and I'm leaving this responsibility that you have given me. Leaving your responsibility. That is cause for tyranny. To his people that didn't listen to him, and he left. And it's a long story. He went on that ship. And those ones in there, they knew who he was. Unusual man. But because of the storm, unusual storm, they understood that something has to be put into that sea. When he drew the straw, they didn't want him to go down because they know that you are a holy man. He says, no, I understand. This is for me. All this is happening because of me. My Lord is not happy. He went into the ocean and the fish swallowed him. There's so many secrets why that happened, why it is a fish. And the fish swallowed him. Did he complain to Allah? Why are you doing this to me? Did he complain to Allah? No, he didn't. He complained about himself, that he did not carry the responsibility. It's not a simple responsibility. Believe me, it's not a simple responsibility. The fish swallowed him. And he was there for how long? And he was making a zikr. La ilaha illa anta subhana in kuntum min zalimin. There is no ilah except for you, and I am one of the oppressors. I am one of the oppressors who are oppressing myself. Now if Yunus Nabi, if that prophet, he didn't do anything wrong. He just decided to take a break from running away a little bit from his nation. And is calling his action as an oppression, an act of tyranny. And he was punished for that. Who are we to say that we are not? When you don't look to your prophets as guidance, as role models, then that time you are going to say, I am a prophet. And I am a guide, and I am an ilah. When you look to them, then you understand where the standard is, where the measurement is. If not, you're just going to go according to what your friends are saying. Friends are saying, what tyrant? You're not a tyrant, you're a good guy. You're going to go according to what the television is saying, what social media is saying. You're going to go with what people are commenting on Facebook. Oh, that becomes your guide. That becomes your ayat. That becomes your source of inspiration, not your prophets, not the holy books, not the holy people. In our way, you have to do a lot of work. Welcome to Jihadul Akbar. You have to do a lot of work. Let's sit down. What is it inside of you and me, that is a tyrant? How are we tyrannizing people? How are we tyrannizing ourselves? Like I said, tyrannizing yourself, it doesn't mean you're going to beat up people, you're going to abuse them. When you are putting value to something that Allah does not put value, when you're putting down what Allah puts up, you're a tyrant. Now, with that understanding, meaning any disobedience that we do, we're becoming a tyrant. You find out, sit and think. Those are the things that if you understand, and you're looking for the key, and you can open the door, you can pass through that. If you're still not understanding, and you're taking this sohbat is just theory, it's just philosophical, it's just listening 1 year in, 1 year out, and you're not taking it and trying to understand, trying to change, you're not going to make any progress. Maybe you're very nice, you're very good with some things, but to certain people you are not. Maybe everything is okay, but with certain actions you are not. We have to find. We have to find, inshallah. That time, we're really making tawbah. That time, Allah is saying, because you come to me humbly, and you understand what you come with me, to me with. You understand, like what Shaykh Effendi is saying, you are in a awakening station. You understand what tyranny. When you understand that, and Allah is saying, even if you come to my presence with your sins all the way up to the heavens, I will forgive you without any reservation. Especially in these days, Shaykh Effendi had said, Awliya Allah, they're saying everyone has become a Firaun. Everyone has become a tyrant. And a tyrant is never humble. And humility is not about the outside form. It's never about the outside form. Especially if you're in tariqat, it is not about what you are outside. It is what you are inside. It's not about if you're in public, everyone is saying. It is how you are at home. It is how you are with your Lord. It is how you are with a small group of people. When there is no show, there is no audience, there is nothing there. Humility is when there is no one except for you and Allah, and you sit and you open everything to Him. And a tyrant cannot be humble. And a humble man cannot be a tyrant. And that moment when you are humble, you are understanding your station of servanthood, Allah will raise you. This is the month for that. Don't be more proud in this month. Don't be more angry in this month. I'm seeing here and there people becoming more complaining, more stubborn, more rebellious, angrier, more jealous, more sensitive to anything that he doesn't like or she doesn't like. Yes, that is also a facet, that is also a characteristic of Ramadan. Everyone's speaking about Ramadan, mashallah, like it's such a wonderful time. It is filled with blessings. But you don't understand, our ego does not like Ramadan. And if you're not understanding how your ego doesn't like Ramadan, then your ego will trick you in Ramadan, and you think you are such a saintly person doing everything, but your ego has already tricked you. When we're in this state, too, I know so many people, because they're not eating properly, drinking properly, sleeping properly, they get very sensitive to everything, correct or not? Are we watching ourselves? We should. We should step back a little bit. We should understand. We should control. We should ask for forgiveness. Otherwise, like what Holy Prophet ﷺ had said, there are people that all they get from Ramadan, from their fasting, is just hunger and thirst. Nothing else. This is the month for you to understand your ego, understand how much further you can go, how your buttons are pushed. This is the month to watch. This is the month, like what the khutbah is saying, you'll start to understand. Now you have no one else to blame. Nothing. Everything that comes out is from you. You cannot blame shaitan anymore. It is coming from you. So are you looking at you properly? If we are looking and we're saying we're still missing in these things, we're still deficient here, we're still wrong here, and we try to fix it, then this Ramadan is going to be full. With that blessings, we can continue for the 11 months. We can continue at least after Ramadan for 70 days until the Qurban. That is going to happen. And from the Qurban, a few days later, for the Muharram and the Ashura to begin. Now, it is your spirit that is looking forward to this renewal. Times to renew, times to rejuvenate, times to load up. Where else except in Tariqat are you going to learn this? You're learning this outside. They're giving you a whole calendar to say, now is the time on President's Day. If you fast so much, then your spirit is going to go up like this. After that, Memorial Day, this is going to happen. No, everything in the calendar is just pointing to dunya. Be careful. They're going to make Islamic calendar to be like that too. Ramadan sale, Eid sale, Qurban sale, everything. Like I said, if you don't understand your ego, your enemy will trick you. The enemy will make you think you're going on the right way, but you've already deviated. Understand? So Allah has placed Ramadan high. And Ramadan is not the time for dunya. It is not the time for desire. It is not the time for the ego. Ramadan is the complete opposite of that. May Allah make us to become better in this Ramadan, inshallah. Forgive us for our shortcomings. For the sake of the holy ones, for the sake of our Shaykh, Sultan al-Awliya and the Holy Prophet ﷺ. Al-Fatiha. Amin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. You have a question? Say.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. What actions take away the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from us?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. It's a good question. Everything that we've been talking about is related to this question. Because the opposite of mercy is what? Tyranny. So being a tyrant takes away the mercy of Allah. Whatever that we've been talking about, this is what takes away the mercy of Allah. Understand inside how much of a tyrant we are. That time, we will lift the veil that separates us from the mercy of Allah. So many times, you need a guide for that. Doing it by yourself, spirituality in Islam has never been do it yourself. It's always been we hear and we obey. Inshallah, find a guide. That time slowly, you will get fixed in ways you understand, ways that you don't understand, ways that you can see, ways that you cannot see. I'm not claiming to be anything or anyone. We're following our Shaykh. Hold on to him tightly, inshallah. That time we will win dunya and akhirat. Wa min Allahu tawfiq al-Fatiha. Assalamu alaikum. This much is enough, inshallah. Ramadan Mubarak. I'll see you soon. Assalamu alaikum.